Hello and welcome everyone, Lionheart here, and that was the Total War Warhammer Lizardmen in-engine cinematic trailer that they released a few days ago. Finally getting around to doing my kind of thoughts and impressions video, and today I'm joined by Gary, who
Hello.
some of you might remember from the Alien Isolation series. He's got fresh pants, and he's no longer like shaking in fear.
No, just about over it.
Yeah, although you were just saying to me before this that you've started playing it yourself.
Yeah, got a medical and haven't played it for about 3 months.
That sounds about right. Don't go through medical and that.
No.
But anyway, today it's all about Total War. It's all about Warhammer. In fact, I believe shortly after this video goes live, Creative Assembly are streaming on their Total War Facebook page a reveal of the full Lizardmen army roster. I don't believe there's any gameplay, but I think they're just going through all the units that will be included. So feel free to come back to this video after you've checked out that live stream and let us know which units we spotted in this trailer that are confirmed, whether any that we didn't know about have been confirmed now. Let us know your thoughts. Anyway, we're going to jump through the trailer, kind of pause as we go, and just explain and share our thoughts on various bits and pieces. Gary's my kind of Warhammer guru today, so let's jump on through this trailer.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can see. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
So we start here with a lovely picture of a pterodon. A very pretty model. The skinks have got a lot of extra detail.
Yeah.
Very pretty. So basically, these are flying dinosaurs.
Yep.
Basically. And they have big rocks to throw at you.
Okay.
So they fly over your head, throw rocks at you, and then come bite you.
So, flying artillery.
Basically.
So I'm guessing these are kind of almost more akin to gyro bombers rather than, say, Hawk Riders.
Yes. So they are going to throw a giant rock at you, and then come bite you.
Okay.
So they're kind of one-use effective, and then they harass you.
Drop a rock and nom nom nom.
Yep.
Cool. That sounds lovely. Got some nice terrain they're flying over. The Fallen
Very
Gates,
pretty.
I believe.
Yes, this bit of map is lovely. And now we have the big guy.
The big guy.
Mazamundi himself.
Massive magical toad is how I will always
It is the best
explain.
way to describe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floating sometimes.
Floating
on a,
magical toad. Yeah.
On a, I don't know what it is. A throne, I
Palanquin.
guess? Palanquin.
I believe so.
Okay.
So if you look closely as well at the front here, we've also got what appear to be some lovely bigger Saurus warriors, because they're extra special. They are Temple Guard.
Temple Guard.
So they are the Saurus handpicked to protect the Slan.
Okay. And the Slan is the big
Mazamundi
toad.
is the big Slan.
He is the big Slan.
Yeah, he is the big Slan. So they're going to keep him nice and safe.
So he's having a chat about his plan, because the Warm Bloods dare meddle at the Fallen Gates.
Yeah.
Which is the High Elves in this instance.
Yeah. Everyone else except them, they're not very good friends with people normally.
And I don't know the kind of full background to the Fallen Gates and all that, but I'm gathering that this is kind of a point of power that is going to influence the Vortex, which is a big part of what the Total War Warhammer 2 Grand Campaign is going to be about.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a kind of a potentially like a quest battle sort of scene that we're seeing, a set piece. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, Mazamundi, glowing gold eyes.
He's going to get stuff done.
Yeah. He's talking about his purpose, no mercy. So
Kill everyone.
He's not particularly being a friendly toad right now, is he?
Not really. A little bit genocidal.
And we're back to the pterodons.
So we get a lovely overview here of what is a very pretty map.
Yeah.
With a nice big choke point.
Yeah. Kind of a bridgy battle.
Yeah.
I have seen other people commenting, getting their hopes up. Like, does this mean bridge battles are back? As such, kind of, that's something that Warhammer 1 is severely lacking, kind of different battle modes. I feel this is more just like a special quest map.
I'd imagine
quest battle
it probably
map.
is.
So I'd love for bridge battles to be a thing again, because, again, fun choke points and things like that. Especially with flying now. It's really... Before you'd be like, I'm just stuck on this bridge, we've got to go against each other. Yeah. But now you can fly. You can fly over the bridge, around the bridge. It's kind of that, far more mobile...
It's less of a tactical advantage to have the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Plus with all the powerful artillery. And I think we can see a shot from a solar engine.
I like to think it is.
Yeah.
It's a laser beam.
It's a laser beam. That's a laser beam. Need like a laser beam counter on screen.
Yeah, we should have one.
There won't be one. I can't edit that well. But yeah, so what's the solar engine?
So the solar engine is it's basically a Basilodon that has a giant sun-powered laser beam on its back.
Dinosaur check. Laser beams check. Together check. Awesome.
Yeah, we're all in.
Nice. Okay. And I think we can see we'll kind of go forward a little bit. So this view here is pretty good for seeing a fair few of the various different units. I can see like 4.
So we've got Cold One Riders. We've got some at the back left and the top left as well.
Yeah.
And I think there's some at the bottom right as well there as well.
Yeah.
So you've got Sora's Warriors, who are floating around all up the top.
Yeah.
And you have the elusive dinosaur with a laser beam right at the top, a little yellow blob.
Yeah. Little blob
That is a Basilodon
with a solar engine.
with a solar engine.
And there's skinks in there as well. They're kind of a bit patchy
They're so
around.
small,
Yeah.
you basically
Little,
can't see them.
little tiny guys.
Going to be tiny little skirmishes. I
And
imagine.
the cold ones, they've got Saurus on them, haven't they?
Yeah, so
riding them into
basically,
battle.
it's a Velociraptor being ridden by an anthropomorphized dinosaur
Right.
who's going to bite you and smack you in the head.
Nice. I would not want to come up against them, but yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, and I believe also there's a few Carnosaurs in there, which weren't a unit on the tabletop, were they? Just on their own, they were just mounts.
No, you had to play special games to get hold of just a Carnosaur on its own.
So looks like Crave Assembly. I mean, they I don't know if they've done it with other units and stuff. I mean, Forest Dragons. I think that was another.
Yeah, you'd normally have to have
instance.
them as a mount.
So you could get Forest Dragons as the Wood Elves as mounts, but also as their own individual unit. So it looks like they're doing it again just to add that kind of big, tough, single entity unit that's kind of bigger than the Vargulf sort of scale and the Crypt Horror sort of size. And it's just the big single entity smacker at the end.
Who doesn't love giant dinosaurs?
I mean, yeah, exactly. I love Carnosaurs.
Yeah. So there is a bit of speculation I've seen as well. The front in the middle here.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't quite look like a Basilodon.
Oh.
People think it might be a Stegodon.
A Stegodon. So what's the
basically,
difference?
it's a giant Triceratops.
Yes.
Who's going to stomp on you, and then skewer you on his horns.
Unlike
the Basilodon, who's a tank.
So the Basilodon's I can't remember the dinosaur's name, but the Basilodon's like the one with the big tail with the hammer points at the end.
Yeah, basically a giant...
I went to the Natural History Museum the other week and I forgot.
You should know.
Yeah. So that's like the clubbed back dinosaur is the Basilodon, and the Stegodon is the Triceratops. Okay.
So the Basilodon is likely going to have a role similar to a battering ram.
Nice.
Because it's armoured on top and has a giant hammer for a tail.
Nice.
It's logical.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Keep on going through. So yeah, we're still flying around, getting a good aerial view, and now they're going into this kind of dive bombing mode, which I wonder if we'll see that as an actual animation.
I'd like to think we do, because it's pretty.
Yeah.
The curved in wings looks very nice.
Be cool if they kind of, just... maybe if you give the attack order, they swoop round, dive bomb, drop, and then fly out the other side to get speed.
It would be wonderful.
Because it makes sense, because they're doing that to gain speed.
Yeah.
To quickly
throw their
move.
rocks even harder, right?
Yeah. And we're now looking at High Elves.
Yeah, it's got some nice High Elf bowmen here.
Because this is High Elves versus Lizardmen in this Fallen Gate scenario that we're seeing.
So we've got some nice bowmen here who are quite bog standard rank and file, essentially.
Yeah, just elven archers, basically.
Very pretty, nice and ornate, as all elves should be.
Yep.
Looking very clean as well.
Yeah.
So they are about to get shot.
They're about to get shot by not only the archers, but also by this rather unusual bolt thrower.
Yeah, so the tabletop one was always famed for being able to shoot one big shot.
Yep.
And skewer a giant thing.
Yep.
Mainly giants.
Yep.
Or could shoot 6 smaller bolts.
Yep.
For dealing with, let's say, light cavalry or infantry.
Yeah, it's kind of a scatter shot, like a canister shot to a cannonball.
Essentially. But this one has 20.
This is canister shot on roids.
Yeah, I think someone was counting and went, who needs 6? Let's have 20.
So, I mean, it's probably way too early to think, is it a regiment of renown sort of thing, like an elite version of a regular bolt thrower? So this seems like it's just a standard one they're putting in.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've seen, again, a bit of speculation from other YouTubers, other users, saying that maybe this is a different ammunition type, where they load a single bolt for if you just want to take on single entity units, or 20 bolts for scatter shot, for, lots of... I imagine it's armor piercing as well. I mean, I would love to see this against, say, like Chaos Warriors, because that would just shred through Chosen,
that would make you happy, wouldn't it?
Very happy. But yeah, the thing is that makes me think CA won't do it as an ammunition type is that we've seen them with, say, Peasant Bowmen for Britonia, for the Wood Elves. They've done pox arrows, flaming arrows as different units.
Yeah.
Of like the same type. So you've got like Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards and regular Deepwood Scouts. Rather than saying there's Deepwood Scouts, and if you maybe upgrade them, you can then have the extra ammunition, or maybe if you research it. So it looks like they're taking a different approach to how they do ammunition types. In like Rome 2, Attila, it was all about little option for your unit special ability, choose the ammunition type as you go in. But now it looks like it's going to be more units too. I think we were sort of saying, because it's obviously heavily tabletop influence, it's super important about the selection that you bring into battle.
Build your army properly. Make sure you have the right tools, as opposed to giving you all that utility that you would have.
So that sometimes you actually go, crap, I didn't bring the right bolt thrower this time.
Yeah, I've got the wrong archers. I needed poison arrows. How am I going to deal with
Although,
that giant?
I'm probably going to always go with the 20 over the single one, because just 20,
it just looks
they're
awesome.
smaller bolts. I'm sure they'll still do damage to single entity units.
It's going to hurt still.
Yeah.
Even a Vargov taking 20 rounds in the head it's going to sting.
Gonna get wrecked.
Either that or he's going to come kill you.
Yeah. But he dodges, though.
He does, which is impressive.
Our hero of the...
So we now get a cheeky little glimpse at some of the high elves. So we get some spearmen here.
Yeah, they're
Getting squished.
Getting squished by that ball.
It looks painful. So we have their lovely tool shields here. So these are some nice straightforward spearmen. I was hoping they might be Lothian Sea Guard, which I'd like to think they hide in somewhere.
It's like an elite unit somewhere.
So it's an elite unit of spearmen that have longbows as well. So
Oh,
they can
very
literally
hybrid.
do everything.
Very hybrid. I mean, we've seen Creative Assembly do the whole dual mode of Ranger and Infantry at the same time, but what they've normally done is made them a smaller unit.
Yeah.
I think it's probably balanced more than anything else, because that'd be a very OP hybrid unit otherwise.
So we then get to see some lovely Great Eagles.
Which, to be honest, we've seen Great Eagles.
Yeah.
They're with the Wood Elves. We also get another glimpse of this commander. I don't believe he's any special character. He's not Teclis or
Doesn't
Tyrion.
appear to be. I'd assume he's just a prince.
Just standard general of the army or whatever.
Yeah.
Your standard alternate general if you don't have a legendary lord.
He was the one that pulled the short straw to hold a temple from the Lizardmen.
Yeah, doesn't seem like a good idea now, does it?
No, they don't have laser beams.
Yeah, not a good idea. So we're now getting some nice shots around the battlefield again. Emphasis on that bridge, that choke point. I think that's Cold One cavalry, is it? Charging in?
Appears to be, because they
look pretty big.
pretty huge.
Yeah, they're really just ramming it. And again, as you said,
They could be Saurus warriors, because they are quite big guys.
Or, I mean, as you
They
said,
have to have shields, though.
the Bastillodons there, they've just been battering rams. They've broken through the enemy lines with the Pterodon balls that they've been dropping. I mean,
let's go with that.
Just they've dropped the big balls.
Yeah.
And they're just going in for more shots as everyone else is charged on round. Oh, Great Eagle, whoops.
Time to evade.
Yeah, he's flying under a bridge now. I kind of think we should have a name for this guy. Steve.
Steve sounds good.
Steve. Happy
No,
Steve.
no, is that a pterodon or the skink?
Skink.
Skink. Steve the skink.
I'm not sure his name is Pterodon.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
There's some shots flying. They're kind of like magical bolts just went across the sky there.
They did, and we get another shot of the giant sun-powered laser beams.
Yeah, the solar engines on the Bastillodons there at the back. They are, glowing and golden.
And you've got a nice, distinctly different coloured Basiladon.
Yes.
The other ones were much darker. And these
so these look like reds and oranges.
Obvious, yeah.
And also we can see, I think are these Temple Guard possibly?
I think they might be, because they've got the extra bonework to them, which always used to be one of the
there's
big
some
things.
reds and yellows in there on
so
their
they
armour.
had more ornate shields, they had bigger bones attached to everything, and they had bigger sticks.
Bigger sticks. Bigger sticks are always good.
Yeah. So we now get a nice high elf mage. So she's going to shoot someone in the face with a bolt. As you could probably speculate what Laura Magica is she's using. I'd like to think it's high magic, because they are high elves.
High elves, high magic, sounds about right.
So then hiding behind her in the background.
Yeah, because this frame, I know every time it comes over to it, I'm like, oh look, mage, but there's so much more going on in this frame.
You've got a giant unit of sword masters.
Yeah.
So the elite swordsman of, I've got a great sword. Not only am I going to hit you in it with it really hard in the face, I'm also going to pretend to be a Jedi and block arrows.
Yeah, because these guys act as if they've got shields, essentially, with their parry ability.
Basically, they get to just get a better save against archers because they can cut them out of the air.
Nice.
And then you also have right in the front here some white lions.
I mean, Lionheart, I'm clearly going to like a unit that's named White Lions.
Basically woodsmen with ginormous axes.
Woodsman?
Yeah.
Okay. Just casual wood elf woodsman.
Yeah.
Just summon them into battle.
Yeah, they're just a bit harder and have giant cloaks made from white lions.
Those are really ornate axes as well.
They're pretty. They're very, very pretty.
So I think that's everything on this. Again, we've got the general hero of the army, whatever.
The prince stood there being what would be the right term for it? Hard-nosed.
Just
stood there.
Stuck up.
Looking angry.
Like he's got a spear up his butt.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And so the mage has fired a bolt of magic, high magic.
We could... There's any number of things.
And this is why I haven't named the Pterodon.
This
is why I've only named
true.
Steve the skink.
I appreciate this now because we can get attached and
yeah, it looks like Steve is the skink. Looks like Steve's Pterodon has been killed or stunned, and down
he's
he goes.
about to get a serious headache.
Yeah,
I think that's the way we could look at it.
He survives the fall though.
He does for a little skink. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's just like oh.
I have to admit, I like his glove. It's quite fancy.
I'm really
Not
liking
to mention the helmet.
The kind of Crash Bandicoot-esque mask on
really
or helmet sort of
I
thing.
hadn't even made that link.
Ooga,
Indeed.
Love it.
So he's not having a good time. He's been thrown off his Pterodon.
Yeah. And
he's about to make a friend.
He is, and there's also elven units running on the background.
We do.
And
we've got some more spearmen and some very colourful, what I'd assumed we saw as warriors.
Okay.
They got a nice little bit of orange marking to them.
Yeah.
Should be their spawning, essentially. So it's where they're bred from.
And as we go on, Steve is really not having a good day.
No,
Steve the skink.
This Swordmaster wants to make friends.
Yeah, well, this is the general again.
Oh, yeah.
But you've got Swordmasters in the background as well as the White Lions with their axe. They're charging on through.
They're going to stab some people.
Yeah, they're going to do some damage.
And this is going to end badly for Steve.
Yeah,
unless something happens.
Steve really regrets his life choices right now.
Yeah, Steve's entire life is flashing across his face.
Steve wishes he was actually a craftsman skink rather than a warrior skink.
No, he wishes he was a skink priest.
Hiding
back behind all the stuff that's
killing out with the slam.
Yeah.
Nice.
Throwing some magic around.
But wait, oh no, what's that?
I think you'll find that's kroq-gar. So this is the big bad guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy that Mazamundi sends to get stuff done.
Yeah. So he summons him at various points, isn't it? And this is kroq-gar is actually the
Sora's
old blood
on the back.
And Grimlock, I believe, is the name of the Carnosaur.
I believe so, yeah.
And so I've got to do it properly for our friend Moosey, but he gets so excited by just Lizardmen in general. And so his instant reaction is kroq-gar. So, I mean, if you can't handle that, then Lizardmen aren't for you. But yeah, kroq-gar with Grimlock. He's... and there's another kind of instance here that we kind of know it's kroq-gar, because if we look at the Saurus Old Blood's hand on the Carnosaur here, he's got this kind of metal golden greave. Yeah. Which is meant to be his, I guess it will be his legendary lord item, his quest battle item he'll have to go and get, which is the Hand of the Gods.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, it is a glove that can create a high-powered ball of energy, which he can then shoot and sear flesh with. So
basically.
A laser beam glove.
Yep.
So yeah, laser beams, dinosaurs, it's a good thing.
Yep, and this one has a giant spear as well. Just to top it off.
The Grimlock's like thumb claw looks really awkward to me.
A little velociraptor.
Yeah, it's kind of.
He'd still bite you to bits.
Yeah, it'd absolutely wreck me. I'm gonna lost pain, and we can actually see another Carnosaur in the background there as well.
Just chilling.
I believe.
Yeah, lovely, pretty standard as well.
Yeah.
And there's a Basildon. We didn't even notice there's a Basildon.
Oh, right here.
Because it just looks like a stone. Because it's hard.
That camouflage.
Yeah. So that's some serious roaring action.
Yeah, Oh, and something we should mention about these guys, it'd be interesting to see if Creative Assembly implement it, is from the tabletop, as I understand it, if kroq-gar, say, was killed, or if Grimlock was killed, the other one...
goes a little bit crazy.
Goes into a frenzy.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen models that have been combined, like cavalry units. What happens if they lose their mount? Do they get up and keep fighting? They don't do that. They don't act as two separate units, or they don't detach as such. Which is kind of a shame, I think, for Lords. Yeah. Because I kind of feel if their horse mount got killed, then they still fight on foot. But I guess that would add way too many complications and things like that. But it is something I have seen, I think it was in Empire or Napoleon, a cavalry unit, the animation that runs through is a cavalry unit gets hacked down or shot down. The horse falls, the unit rolls forward, gets up, and then gets bayoneted in the chest. So kind of for a brief moment, it's a separate unit. It becomes an infantry unit and then gets killed. I think that's way too much detail to hope for.
Yeah, I think it'd be quite hard to do it off
But just because these guys have that kind of set frenzy rule from the tabletop, maybe it's something we might see.
We can hope.
We can but hope. But that is the trailer, as such, for Total War Warhammer 2. The Lizardmen in-engine trailer. So it's not gameplay, it is cinematics.
Yeah.
But it's hopefully showing a good offering of what to expect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hyped as hell, because dinosaurs, basically.
Yeah.
There's loads of things I want improved in Total Warhammer 2, and if you want to hear all of that, then do check out my video that I did with Inept General. And if you want to hear my initial reactions and stuff like that, and lore and things, not just about Lizardmen, but High Elves, Dark Elves, and possibly Skaven.
Who knows?
Who knows? Then check out my video that I did with Moosey. But I mean, what do you think so far, like kind of briefly summarising that?
Looks really nice. They're really pretty, which is really important.
Lots of ornate detailing on units.
There seems to be a good, reasonably full roster. There's a few things missing from the cinematic that I'd like to see.
Okay, so what would you like to see?
It's a kroq-gar. So
yeah.
basically, a troll that's a lizard man.
Okay, so kind of the trolls or the crypt horror unit for the Lizardmen.
So
I imagine that would be in, because it's quite a staple kind of jump up, because you go from the 160-man unit to the 8 or 12 crypt horror sort of type unit, and then you go to single entities.
The other thing I'd really like to see, which I doubt they'll do, is you could get skinks with kroq-gar in one unit.
Oh, so like mounted kroq-gar?
No, not mounted.
What?
So you had a skirmishing unit.
Oh, powered up.
Palled up.
Okay, so kind of like Skarsnik with Gobbler.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It'd be like 60 skinks with probably 5 or 6 kroq-gar.
I've kind of wondered for a while if Total War might look at the idea of combining units together, so you put like a pike unit supported with a crossbow unit, which for like a Civil War type Total War game is very current to what they did. They had pikemen supported by crossbow units. So the only game I've ever seen do that kind of thing was actually Battle for Middle-earth 2, where you could combine Isengard pikemen with Isengard crossbowmen. They made this kind of hybrid unit that moved forward, the pikes defending the crossbows, and the crossbows just shooting. So the crossbows meant enemy units had to run towards them, but then they got skewered by pikes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting.
I'd like to see chameleon skinks.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'd quite fathom them being invisible, near enough.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'd manage it. And the big one.
Troglodon? Is that the one?
Oh, that's one of the big beasties, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that's in the same class as the Jabberslith that wasn't added in for Beastmen, because it costs like 5 Charlemagnes, apparently.
Okay.
To like develop, apparently, or the artwork of 5 Charlemagnes, apparently. Apparently it's a lot to like rig all the skeletons and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what was the final one you wanted to bring?
I want to see salamanders or razordons.
Right, yes.
Because little lizards that flame you to bits or shoot you to bits with giant chunks.
That sounds like they've got a lot of diversity in there.
They do. They're a very fun faction.
Got magic, they've got flaming attacks, they've got big ones, small ones, flying ones,
dinosaurs,
mounted rate. They've got laser beams.
Yep. Surprising amount of laser beams.
Yeah. And I think on that as well, we'll wrap it up. They've got laser beams is
dinosaurs
the takeaway.
With laser beams.
Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this trailer down in the comment section as well. And obviously, as I mentioned, Creative Assembly should have done today a live stream where they go through the full roster for the Lizardmen that's going to be in Total War Warhammer 2. I'm sure they'll do forum posts, Reddit posts, and things like that to confirm as well. And I may well do an updated video going through it. But yeah, share your thoughts down below. And until the next one, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Take pride in joining the Legion. Check out my affiliates and sponsors, XMG, Greenman Gaming, Overclockers UK, and MSI. And a big thanks to Gary for joining me today.
Sorry for getting anything wrong.
Not my fault. Until the next one,
Goodbye.
ciao for now.